So you know how people usually do their little wrap-ups and favorite things of the month at the end of each month, of the previous month, and then things you're looking forward to the next month? Well, I haven't really done anything this past month other than really go to school and read. So I'm going to do that with the books that I've read this past month, along with the ones that I've purchased, and some problems that I have concerning my purchases. The first book that I read in January was Zombicorns, the zombie apocalypse novella that John Green wrote. As you can see, I printed out the cover page because it is, of course, in a PDF. I realized after I purchased the 2011 Project for Awesome zombie novella that I hadn't officially read the first one. So to read a sequel that's going to be coming in the mail or via email at some point, well, I needed to catch up. The second book that I read in January was The Fault in Our Stars. Yes, practically everyone on the internet, I feel, has read and reviewed this book thus far. So I'm just going to stick with what everyone else said, in that it is amazing and beautiful and just so, it's just, you need to read it. You should read it. The third book that I read was actually The Taming of the Shrew. It's for my Intro to Shakespeare class. I actually took this class without even actually needing it because I thought to myself, hey, you're a relatively well-read 22-year-old and you've only read about 4 plays by Shakespeare. So I'm deciding to fix that. And clearly it also was in an e-book format. Thank you, Project Gutenberg. The fourth book that I read was Chronicle of a Death Foretold. It is by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, who's one of my favorite authors, and the fact that I've only read about 2 books by him is a shame, and I am slowly getting through his entire written collection of works because he is an amazing writer, and I hope one day to be able to read enough Spanish to read his works in Spanish. And finally, the fifth book that I read, also for a class, was Plato's Republic. I've read parts of the Republic for several of my classes in the past, and I kept meaning to read the entire thing from front to back, and this class that I'm taking now, we had to read about 80% of it, so I went ahead and just finished reading the entire thing. And then the problems begin. I get newsletters from several book chains, one of them being barnesandnoble.com, and they had this coupon on there that was 50% all of teen literature / young adult literature, and I was like, oh, there's quite a few of those that I want to read, and I went and bought Anne and the French Kiss, the Maze Runner trilogy, and Divergent. Yeah, they're really cheap and I want to read all of them, so I just bought them and all I had to do was click and they were delivered to me, so yeah. And then of course, as I was looking around for textbooks, I decided to buy something else from my wish list on Amazon and bought the Game of Thrones box set for the first 4. Yeah, I sort of have a bit of a problem in that I buy a lot of books with the intention of reading them, and it's not that I don't want to read them. I buy them and I read at a relatively moderate pace. You know, 5 books in a month is a moderate pace, not super fast, not slow. Decent amount of reading. You can just see the problem that I have. I have so many books that I own that I haven't read yet, but I can't stop myself from buying books. I think they title things like this first world problems.